Good News Planet. This is Paul Slatkus. I'm speaking to Dr. Raymond Townsend. Hi, Doctor. How are you today?
I'm terrific, Paul.
Excellent. Actually, this is a big year for you. I imagine every day is a good day and a lot of good things happening. But this year you were named the American Heart Association's 2016 Physician of the Year for your research in metabolism, hemodynamics, and chronic kidney disease. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And today we're going to talk about high blood pressure and avoiding a heart attack during the holiday season. And I imagine any day it's very important. You have 5 steps to managing your high blood pressure. And what would those be?
So the first and most important thing before we get to the 5 steps is just to be aware that high blood pressure earns the title silent killer, because unless you're careful about measuring it periodically to be sure you're still on the rails, you don't know. So it's always a good idea to be under someone's care who can measure your blood pressure correctly. But the 5 steps...
Can I ask you a question about that before... Doctor, let me ask you a question. How do you know... So someone measures it. Now, I've even had my blood pressure, I believe, measured in a local pharmacy right here in Duane Reade. And so how do you know what should you keep a record of your own history so you know where you are in that regard?
Oh, sure. Yes. There's in order to measure something as slippery as blood pressure, you got to do it right in order for the data to be useful. First and most important thing is we trust our sitting blood pressure, not our standing or lying down one. Those are important, especially if you drop when you stand, but the most important blood pressure for treating it is the sitting blood pressure. And one of the venial sins that some people make is they think, oh, I should take it now. Oh, I have to go to the bathroom. Oh, I'll just go to the bathroom afterwards. If your bladder is full, that is a potent stimulus to your blood pressure centers. So you ought to be seated comfortably with an empty bladder and not having had a cup of coffee or a cigarette or something like that recently. Your back needs to be supported, your feet on the floor, and most importantly, Paul, 5 minutes of rest before any button is pushed or any bulb is squeezed to measure it. Once you've obeyed the rules about positioning and all the trappings for the blood pressure itself, we usually take 2 or 3 readings, because the first one is always a little higher in most people. I said always, but I meant usually a little higher than the second and third one. That's called the alerting reflex, and we get past that by doing 2 or 3 blood pressures at any one reading. But once you get good data, now you can manage it. And there are a couple of things in the holiday season that, to go back to the other question, I'll just rapidly run through and then glad to answer any further queries. The holiday season is fraught with coughs, colds, flu, and other infectious diseases, and our tendency is to take something for it. So avoiding decongestants, those are the dreams, ephedrine, pseudoephedrine, those kind of things. Look at the label. If it tells you that this is a problem for people with high blood pressure, it's probably got a decongestant in it. If you have that sleep apnea thing where you snore, wake up short of breath during the night, or your bed partner kicks you in the back of the legs because you didn't seem to be breathing properly, there are machines that treat that and ways to manage that. Use them. They help you. They help you clear thinking during the day and help your blood pressure a little bit. If you are a stressed individual, holidays are a stressful time. You know, when you get beyond the shouting out the window, I'm not going to put up with this anymore, do a walk instead of a binge eat. That's the most helpful thing you can do. Watching your salt intake, and if you're on medication, be remembering of taking it. So mindful of the fact that blood pressure medicines don't help if they sit in the bottle as opposed to sitting in your stomach.
Okay, and I think I'll put this in there because you have it. You have a good sense of humor. How's that fit in?
So, Paul, if you asked me a question, I didn't catch it, so I need to have you repeat it.
I'm sorry. I added a 6th one, Doctor, and that is have a good sense of humor.
Oh, gosh, life is way too short to be too serious. No question about that. You know, you gotta chuckle once in a while. I think it really does help.
Do you think it helps your blood pressure?
I think it does. I can't prove that with a randomized clinical trial, but at least in my experience, it's much more, I think, beneficial for my patients when I come in with a smile and maybe a wisecrack as opposed to coming in looking like an undertaker about to have his next client.
Okay, I'm a full belief in that. Let me ask, where can people go for more information? I know you have a lot of people to speak to today, so I have a lot more I could ask you, but we'll ask it another time. Let you get to other interviews. But where can people go to get more information?
So the American Heart Association hosts a website called heart.org. If you just type that in and put a slash and then the letters HBP for high blood pressure, you'll be there. And there's a ton of stuff there, and it's easy to navigate and cruise, and you'll learn a lot.
Last quick question. What's good news for you, Dr. Townsend, in any aspect of your life? What's good news?
So, good news is that I still have a job because blood pressure hasn't gone away, and I'm sorry about that, but at least I'm able to put food on the table and provide shelter for my family because I manage high blood pressure.
You're good, man. Great. All right, well, thank you very much. Sorry I couldn't hear too well here. Take care and have a happy and healthy New Year.
Same to you, Paul.
Okay, bye-bye.